Hey guys, and welcome to episode 52 of How I Made My First $1 Million. Today we are looking at the numbers from January 1st, 2025. Yes, it's a new year. Happy New Year. So let's dive in. We start as usual with the balance sheet. Assets coming in at 107,000, actually down about $2,000 from last month, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I'll be honest, I still feel really good about it. It feels like assets went up. Like it just feels like assets went up. I don't know how else to put it. So let's see here. Okay, so cash went down. All right. Gold and silver about the same. Bitcoin actually went down, but it looks like it went up here on the balance sheet because I bought more Bitcoin. So, the price per Bitcoin went down a little bit. I don't know the percentage, but then I bought about $4,000, 4,200 worth of Bitcoin, I think. And Kiva is about the same. So I guess it's because of the acquisition of Bitcoin that I feel like my balance sheet is in a stronger position now. And it's like the dollar value is just, it's like a temporary glitch. Like I know the Bitcoins are obviously worth a lot more. You just have to wait for the market to catch up. So yeah, so I feel really good. It feels like it went up even though it went down. And of course, liabilities still zero. Got to appreciate that. So net worth 107,000. Okay, fine. Still happy, and that feels like a nice starting point to the year, right? Just over $100,000. January 1st, 2025. I haven't been this excited about a new year in a lot of years, like in a long time. So I'm really looking forward to 2025. I hope you guys are too, and I hope that anything you celebrated in December went well. All right, let's keep moving. The chart. Got a new data point as usual, down ever so slightly, but you gotta love this trend. Looking really good. I think it's gonna be strong. If we project this out another year, right? If we say like, how far is this gonna go in 2025? We could be looking at a record high net worth. By the end of 2025, 218,000. I mean, do we think we're gonna get 111,000? That is definitely doable. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's look at the income statement. So what happened here? Well, first, revenues are exactly the same, unchanged. And when I first saw this, I thought there was a mistake in the spreadsheet. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I'm salaried now and I should have basically the same revenue every month. So that is not a mistake. That is accurate. However, expenses did change about $4,000 less than they were last month. So what happened there? Okay, travel and adventure went down a lot. $4,000. Okay, and $4,000 less in investments. So yeah, in November, 8,700 worth of investments, basically Bitcoin and silver, and then in December, that's like straight Bitcoin, or 4,200 was Bitcoin, and then 165. Oh yeah. Okay, $65 I spent on gold backs. I can't remember where I put them. It's okay, don't worry about it. It's like gold notes that are made with gold. Anyways, so that I spent $65 on those. It's just kind of like a novelty item, basically. And $100 I spent on what was it? On a brokerage account. I opened up a new brokerage account. I put $100 in, and my plan is to mess around with options. So it's just $100. I'm willing to lose it. We'll see how it goes. Okay, but otherwise, not much is different. Okay, so spent less on travel and adventure, spent a lot more on gifts and some of these other categories. December. It's going to be a lot of gifts. Yeah, otherwise, nothing too fancy. So that is the income statement. Cash flows. December looks similar in terms of operating cash flows to November. And that's nice. It's a positive operating cash flow. So living within my means. Lovely. But, only banking like $1,000 of cash or less than that. It's like, I don't know. I could do better, I guess. Anyways. But buying all these investments is nice. It just means my cash balance is dwindling rapidly. So yeah, that's good. I guess there's really nothing else to say here about this. Yeah, well, financing activities. So I did lend on Kiva, which I will share presently now that we are getting to the updates section. So what else happened? I lent $1,000 on Kiva in December. Uh, 'tis the season. So lent, and yeah, I think I've mentioned this before, maybe a long time ago, but if you look at this, like the lending amount, it looks like only $17 was lent. That's the net amount. So I actually lent $1,000. So the other, whatever, $983 loans were repaid into my Kiva account and for $983, and then I added 17 to it to make it 1,000 and then lent that out. So the only thing that shows up here on the statement of cash flows is the net difference. So just in case anyone's curious, it's not that big a deal. So anyways, lent $1,000 on Kiva. I opened a brokerage account to trade options, as I mentioned. So I haven't taken any positions yet, but I did fund the account for $100. I also opened a sports betting account to hedge emotions. So I'm not trying to make money from betting on sports. I'm trying to hedge my emotions because I'm from Buffalo, New York. I'm a fan of the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills have a habit of breaking my heart in the playoffs. So what I'm doing is basically betting against them. So if the Bills win, yay, I'm happy. And if the Bills lose, yay, I'm happy because I make money. So anyways, basically I'm just hedging my emotions there. So I put $100 into that account as well. And I made a couple bets for the regular season, and two bets, and I won them both actually. But one was on the Bills to win, and one was on the Kansas City Chiefs to win. So in neither case did I bet on the Bills to lose. But the plan for the playoffs, which starts next week, is to bet on the Bills to lose. So anyways, we'll see how that goes. I'm just kind of goofing around. It's only $100, so YOLO. All right, relationship with body. Gave myself a 7 out of 10. An improvement from last month. I feel really good. I'm using the body really well. Lifting weights, running, sprinting, doing a physical fitness test that a guy at the gym suggested, and it was really fun and extremely challenging. But anyways, yeah, I'm lifting more days than not. 4, 5, sometimes 6 times a week. And again, a funny thing is to celebrate a PR benching. So I benched 275, which was 1.6 times my body weight. Wow. So I'm very happy about that. Thank you for letting me share it with you. Also walking, jogging, running periodically. And I just went out and tried to run a mile as fast as I could without a whole lot of like training or working up to it. I just said, I'm going to run as hard as I can and just push my lungs. And I ran a mile in 6 minutes, 36 seconds, which is a PR. And I couldn't believe that I did it that fast. And I was like so winded. It was really painful, but that was cool. So I'm still chasing that elusive 6-minute mile mark. I've never been there in my entire life. So that would be cool, but long-term goal. Relationship with others. 7 out of 10. Very good. Very, very good. So everything's going well. And my full-time job is going really well. And I had a bunch of PR appearances. We also hired a producer, so I've been working with him a lot and meeting with him almost every single day. And I've been working on a project for work every single day, pretty much no exceptions, like 7 days a week. Nights, weekends, I'm just working on it all the time. And so that's good, working with him a little bit and making a lot of progress there. And in terms of PR appearances, I did have one on Bloomberg on New Year's Eve, which felt different than the others because there was feedback. There was actual constructive feedback after the appearance was over. Like a lot of times in the comments section below the videos, people will just say, oh, I agree or I disagree. And there's no feedback. Like there's nothing I can do with that. But for the Bloomberg one, a guy actually reached out to me on LinkedIn and said that he heard my interview on Bloomberg and he was convinced to buy Bitcoin because of it. So that was interesting, and he had a little bit more to say. So, anyways, that was great. So I don't know if that's gonna happen again in the future, but it was nice. Relationship with self, 5 out of 10. So average here. I could definitely do better. But the one thing I wanted to highlight from this category is that I am reading The Nature of Personal Reality a bit more in earnest. So I've been reading this book so slowly over the last year, maybe, like a long time. and I would routinely go like a week or two without reading any of it, maybe even a month. And then when I would pick it up, it would be like a page or 2 pages, and then I would put it down and go to bed. But I'm reading it a bit more regularly, a bit more seriously, and it is absolutely fascinating. Just the nature of our personal reality. And the argument of the book is that like your personal reality boils down to your beliefs. It's like, it's unbelievable, but the more you think about it and the more you consider, could it be true? In what ways is it true? What other implications does that have for other like frameworks, like the laws of physics and so forth, the more tantalizing it is. So it's super amazing. So I'm thinking about that quite a bit. And finally, how am I thinking? How am I feeling? What am I doing? Well, I guess I shared most of what I'm doing. But I've noticed lately how many things in my life I don't feel like doing. And this is hilarious. Like waking up at the same time every day, 7 days a week, pretty much no exceptions. And it's like when the alarm goes off, I don't feel like getting out of bed. I feel like laying there. But I get out of bed anyway. And I don't feel like sitting down to work, but I work. And I don't feel like going to the gym, but I go to the gym. And I don't feel like doing the dishes. And you name it. It's like all day long, I don't feel like doing that thing, but I do it. And so it's funny when you like zoom out and say like, yeah, well, that's life. It's like what everyone has to go through. It's very, it's really funny. It's just really funny. But, in the same vein, I'm noticing the results of discipline. So all those things I just mentioned, I'm seeing the results of doing something every day over and over, creating good habits, like benching or running a mile or whatever it is. Yeah, it's amazing. It's like a very simple formula. That's what I said in the last video of like, decide on something you want to do, focus on it, and just have the discipline to do it. And that's it. That's literally it. And it's not a secret, and it's not rocket science, and anyone can do it. And so I've been thinking about it a lot and just sort of appreciating the results of my own discipline. So anyways, and finally, I kept this bullet point from last month. I'm thinking about life as an ongoing tension between who you are and who you want to be. Yeah, I don't even know if I need to elaborate on that. There's an ongoing tension between who you are and who you want to be. It's like, it's ego death, right? It's like, are you willing to let go of your sense of self, which is basically an illusion, and let go of that old sense of self to have a new one? That's it. And it's 100% up to you, right? It's in your own brain. It's in your own body. And change is inevitable. All we do is resist change. Yeah. So I guess one thing I'll add here that I didn't write down is resistance. I was thinking about resistance and how much of our day we spend resisting the way things are. So like at the end of the workday, if you go home and you have a beer, you're probably resisting something about your reality. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the job you have, you don't like it, or it's your wife or whatever. You're resisting something about your reality. And disease is dis-ease. It's you're not at ease. Something about you is not at ease because you're resisting something and you have a disease. So I've been thinking about that. So I don't know if I have necessarily a theory about it, but yeah, that's what I got. So that is it for today. Happy New Year. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next month.